It's time for the Drugless Doctor. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and life-changing program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Dr. Kaysen DeMaria. We'd like to welcome you once again to another episode of the Drugless Doctor. And today we have a very special guest who's made some enormous life-changing disciplines and habits and activities. And I know that you're going to be really intrigued by her story and her testimony. She looks ravishing. I know that it's amazing when somebody makes the decision to come to the other side. That's our side. It has a lot of positive benefits. Dr. Kaysen.
Okay, I am so excited to introduce our special guest today. Shannon, I want to thank you for coming and being a part of this and sharing your story with everyone at home. Now, when you first came to the office, I know that you had some specific health goals. So let's talk a little bit at the beginning. How did you hear about our office?
Initially, I was having some low back and hip pain, and I reached out on Facebook to some friends because I wanted to come to an office where I know someone has had great experiences, and a couple people, specifically one very good friend who I value, mentioned you guys, so I definitely called right away.
Excellent.
And came in.
Now, what was your initial assessment and experience? Had you seen a chiropractor before?
Never.
Never. First time?
Never, ever.
Okay, so why were you reaching out online? So that valued review was so important for you to come from a trusted source that you knew that, and I know this specific person has had phenomenal results in our office. Now, share a little bit with everyone out there. What were you seeking? What were you looking for when you were putting it out to Facebook?
So it's scary. I have a small knowledge about anatomy and physiology, and I know how important the spine is, and incorrect care could definitely make a problem worse. So I wanted to find someone that would do the appropriate testing and make sure that I got the right care and to help me and not put me in further detriment.
You got it. Now, let me talk a little bit about what we were looking at when you initially came into the office. So when Shannon came into our office, what we were doing is we did a comprehensive history and assessment. And I know some of your goals were lower back and hip pain when you first initially came in, but also to get off high blood pressure medication. And I know with anatomy and physiology, the brain sits in the skull. It travels down as the spinal cord. If you have any kind of shift in your spine, which is what we were looking for when we were doing Shannon's assessment, those nerves aren't going to be functioning at 100%. Whether that's in your neck, lower back, and hips, all of the nerves in your neck go to your sinuses, brain, heart, stomach, colon. Everything is connected. And I know also some of your goals when you came in were weight loss. And I want to share your experience with what a specific chiropractic adjustment is like and what you started noticing, especially this being your fresh, brand new experience for you, never been to a chiropractor, did not know what to expect. What's it like coming to our office?
First off, I expected it to be lay down, crack, 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 and send me on my way. I didn't realize it was the whole assessment and lifestyle, and that was intriguing to me. I was looking for somebody to fix my back. But I found somebody who cared about other things, like the high blood pressure, the weight loss, helping me on that journey. And I've had so many great ideas from you as far as different exercises and foods and supplements and stuff.
Isn't that exciting?
It's exciting.
Now, Dr. Bob, I know over there some questions we can ask her as far as the Fitbit and her sleep and her weight loss. We're
waiting
so
for my
excited.
turn to be able to do this. I'll tell you. We have learned so much because of technology. So Shannon is wearing a Fitbit. You know, you could have a Jawbone, a Fitbit. There are so many different types of tools today. Well, what we have learned is that Fitbit is a little bit of a report card of what's going on inside of the body. So what have you learned from your, and I have no idea what you're going to say, but I know it's going to be good. What have you learned from your Fitbit experience in chiropractic care?
Something that you guys told me that I looked at, I said, that's not going to happen, is better sleep. I've had better sleep as a whole since we started, but specifically the nights after I come in. It's for sure, because the Fitbit tells me how many times I'm restless throughout the night, and it's almost none those nights.
So the Fitbit is just a tool that we use, and when I did say we use, it was actually somebody came into my office, and it happened to be a jogger, and she said, Dr. Bob, you're not going to believe this, and then repeated what Shannon said. Now, I don't know how much we talked about your weight loss experience. I don't think you came in with weight loss on mind, did you?
No.
So, were you going to say something, Dr. Kaysen?
It's amazing, just stopping right there inside the back. So she was focusing on the back more importantly than what's the bone, the anatomy of it. We are concerned with what's inside it. Okay, these nerves supply all tissues and organs, and these nerves right here in the lower spine, which yes, you were having some discomfort, only 10% of those fibers feel pain. Those nerves go to her liver and her pancreas, which are really important for weight loss. And you didn't even share that your goal was weight loss. Who ever thought going to a chiropractor for weight loss?
With side benefits. So talk to us. What happened? I'm waiting to hear. So how many pounds? This is big.
About 30.
Okay. 30 pounds. And that was intentional or non-intentional, just evolved. Talk to me about that.
Oh, we're working on it. I was actually starting the whole diet and exercise just prior to coming to see you guys. But this has just been a great integral part to that. It's been helping me along the way and keeping me going.
So I made a very positive comment about your skin. What has changed? Your skin looks really good. And we use a report card, is the skin. So how's your skin changed?
It's smoother. It's not oily and yucky. I don't feel like I look 42.
No, you look really good. So let me talk to you about this hormonally. Because, I wrote Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Balancing Female Hormones, and we take this really serious. We have women that come from all over the world. I've been married for 40 years. What has changed with your female hormones, if anything? And if nothing, it's okay.
I have no idea.
What do you feel? Less tenderness in your breasts? You have more energy?
Lots more energy. A lot more energy.
And then I know that there was a couple other areas that we were talking about. One was blood pressure. I think this is significant. Dr. Kaysen, you throw that back to you, okay?
Yes, so when you initially came into our office, and I know as chiropractors, we don't have a license to take anyone off medication. Our goal is we have a license to educate you to be able to work with any other primary healthcare providers that you are getting the medication so that you're not just stopping it, but we can work on that process together to support you. And I know initially when you came in and we were taking your blood pressure, and you had said if my goal was, if I could, I would like to get off these high blood pressure medications. Now, before we started the segment, you were sharing the improvement of the blood pressure, and this is with chiropractic alone. And I know, yes, you are still taking the medication, but you've seen a tremendous improvement with the chiropractic adjustment, because after an adjustment, your blood pressure is impacted because of how all these nerves innervate the heart and the blood vessels. So what I want you to do is share right now at home what your blood pressure was like, how long it's been like that, and then the difference you've seen even just starting since September in our office, so just a couple months.
I have had elevated blood pressure for 14 and a half years since I gave birth to my son. And under medication, I was running 150s, 160s, over 80s and 90s at rest.
With medication?
With medication.
Okay. Get that down
as of recent times, after getting regular adjustments, I am now regularly 130s and 140s, over low 80s and high 70s.
Okay, so all of you out there that are taking pharmaceuticals and are tired of doing it and you don't know what to do, we're just saying, we're not here to create distress. We're just saying it might be a wise choice. Now, so your hip pain's better, your back pain's better, you're exercising. What do you do for a profession?
I'm a realtor.
So high stress.
Yeah.
And you're gone 24/7 probably sometimes. What has changed in your professional life?
Clear head. And we have to maintain that clear head. And so I think you're helping me just deal with stressing. I'm never going to remove the stressors from outside, but it's how you deal with them.
Dr. Kaysen, anything else you want to ask her?
Okay, so you being a woman coming into our office, who would have thought a chiropractor could help you with weight loss, better sleep, clear head when working? What are some things that you can share to people at home right now? Someone sitting on the couch right now, some woman that they are balancing lots of different things. They have a child, they're hardworking, they don't know what to do, they could be taking a medication. what is your advice to someone who doesn't know anything about chiropractic? What would you share with that family, that woman, that man out there, that child out there that doesn't know what to do?
Instead of staying home and moping about it and complaining to people about it, do something about it. Come in and see these guys and get an assessment and see how they can help you. Because it's worth it. Your health is worth it. And you can't take care of your own family if you're not in good shape yourself.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break, but beforehand, I want you to just contemplate. You might want to go back and watch this and listen to this again, because Shannon made and I have to really give kudos to her, because she could just be exactly the same. She made a decision. We see people that are very frustrated, don't know what to do. So go check out our website. Look at our Google reviews. This is real. We're here to make a difference. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. I'm a chiropractor because my goal, my passion is to help people get better without medication.
There's different types of chiropractic. I wanted to be involved in something that was bigger than myself.
Sure, I would say it's been so much more than just seeing those lives transform. It's been being able to be a part of their transformation.
Wellness is a state of mental, social, and physical well-being.
Really, wellness is from the inside out, being able to have your body make the decisions on its own, naturally, without drugs, medications, or surgeries.
We work and strive at addressing each one of those different facets of wellness so that it's really a well-rounded overall approach for an individual.
I think the atmosphere is really very welcoming. I think all three really work well together as a team.
It's much more than you would find somewhere else. The individuality of it, the recommendations, the doctor's expertise.
We do not use a cookie cutter plan. Every person that comes into our office is very unique, and they have specific plans and treatment protocols specific for their findings.
Utilizing our innovative tools and technology, we're able to get the best results and faster, and it's really easy on the practice member, specifically with the thermal scans that we do. By measuring the ambient skin temperature, we're able to measure from each assessment how the pattern's changing.
We offer digital video fluoroscopy, motion films of a person's spine, getting right to the root cause.
From someone that was previously diagnosed with ADHD and was having developmental delays in speech, working with them here and seeing the transformation of them developmentally, other things, attention span, energy, colic, all these things that are improving over a period of time.
So whether it's a little baby that's getting adjusted for the first time, or a mom that's getting adjusted, or an athlete, it's really cool to see what we're able to do and how that can impact their life for the long term.
The two things, chiropractic care and nutrition, go hand in hand, and you really need both components. You can't just say, I'll do whatever I want nutritionally and then just have chiropractic care and Dr. Bob will just fix me. Really, you have to have both going together.
In our wellness store, we offer a variety of different products. They're all professional lines and products that are tried and true. We have many different types of evaluations and assessments that can tell us what supplement is going to be best for one of our practice members here in the office, so that we're just not throwing the dice when it comes to their health.
The Drugless Doctors is very forward-thinking. It's a lot different than anything else that I had ever seen before, so I felt like I was learning something new.
We have information on social media, our website, our blog. We do TV programs, so we're always putting out good quality information, because more often than not I hear from somebody, I never knew that, or I got that information from a magazine or a TV program and I never really knew that that wasn't correct.
So being able to give them simple tools and natural principles that they can be able to empower themselves to make every day, that's really, it's really exciting for me to be able to see people and their changed lifestyles.
Come and join us and participate with natural drugless chiropractic care. Hello, this is Dr. Bob and Dr. Anthony DiMaria, and we'd like to welcome you once again back to the Drugless Doctor. We have a very special guest with us at this particular episode. He's been involved in our practice for over 5 years, and I know he's made some very tremendous, very wise lifestyle changes. I'm going to flip this right over to Dr. Anthony.
So I have to congratulate you for being here because you have a great story and you have some important things to share with everybody. So I appreciate you being here, and I'll just hand it over to you. Tell us why you originally came to see us and what's on your heart when it comes to chiropractic care, drugless, natural solutions.
And if you want to use your glasses, that is okay.
Okay, all right. Well, anyways, it's funny you should ask. You know? But no, my wife said to me about 5 years ago, hey, we're gonna go to this thing called the Drugless Doctor. And I'm like, okay, I'm in nursing school, and that's like an oxymoron. There's no such thing as a drugless doctor. I mean, they just diagnose and prescribe, you know, and that's what they do. So I'm just thinking to myself, we're going to drive an hour up and an hour back to some guy named the Drugless Doctor, and for why are we doing this? Okay, well, obviously it's worked out terrific. And, you know, we go twice a month, and it makes such a difference. The biggest thing is how I sleep. You know, you get adjusted, and I know I've been adjusted because I can get a good night's sleep. And the rest of the time, it's a disaster. But so anyway, so go back to 2010. We first started coming up, and yeah, we were in Elyria then. And, you know, it was fun. It was my wife and I used to do it. Now we kind of have to go separately because she works for a chiropractor, and she loves it right near home. That's why she works for the chiropractor, not you, Dr. Bob, because it's like next door. So anyways, it was a terrific experience. And ironically, back in 2010, we took, about this time, we went down and did a Christmas vacation in Key West. I stumbled across this really drunk guy who turns out to be a major attorney in Tampa St. Pete, who not prosecutes, but litigates and deposes big pharma. These people who are killing people. I mean, it's, you know, you've probably heard the transmeshes, the blood thinners, statins. He deposes these, I won't mention the names, but he deposes these major drug companies because big pharma is literally killing people to the tune of 100,000 people a year. 100,000 people a year are dying because they're taking drugs. 1 million people sustain damage, lifelong damage, and that will possibly eventually kill them. But this was just remarkable when you think over the last 10 years, 1 million people have died directly related to, you know, drugs that are, you know, prescribed by doctors. And what they use, they use a biostitute, and what a biostitute is basically a scientist from a university. And these big pharma will go in, they'll pay that person, that scientist, they'll give him quite a chunk of change just to come up and just to get them to present something that's favorable for their pharmaceutical, for their drugs, full well knowing it's not true. So you've literally got drugs out on the market that aren't what they say they are. By the time the FDA maybe catches up to them, it's 3 years have gone by, and the only real testing that's done is on you. We're the guinea pigs. If you take pharmaceuticals, we'll find out later, and literally you'll end up maybe in a lawsuit because you've been damaged to the point where you need something. Well, a doctor will tell you need something, you know, extracted from your body. Whether you do or you don't is another issue. But the point is, you're so bad, you know, in such a bad way. This is what happens. We're the guinea pigs for the pharmaceuticals. So after I had a real epiphany after meeting this lawyer down in Key West, and I began to realize, wow, drugless doctor, this is the answer to everything. Because if you get stuck in what I basically call the pill prison or the medical merry-go-round, where you start taking pills, it's like a domino effect. Being involved in nursing, I would watch clients literally start with one medication, and before they were done, you know, years would pass, they would be on half a dozen, 7, 8 medications, and normally it was, you know, they would have medication for one issue, then they would have that medication would cause another issue. They'd take B, and before you knew it, they were having so many issues. It's horrible. It's horrible. They're stuck in a, I don't know what you want to call pill purgatory or whatever, but they're not getting out. I mean, you are in this and you've taken these drugs that aren't approved, aren't tested, only to find out years later, the damage because you're sick and you need to get a lawyer to recover. And one of the things is I always say to people, if I happen to meet them and they're asking me and we're having this conversation, if you ever had to take a drug, make sure it's at least 10 years old. Now, there's no excuse today for not going to a library, doing research. I mean, most people have computers. Now, I work a lot with the elderly, so they're not computer savvy necessarily. Some of them really aren't, but even more are today. But even if you're not, go to the library, get a friend or family member. Make sure that drug you're being prescribed is at least 10 years old, because if it's not, there's no telling. There's no testing that is really what I would say adequate enough to really know what this drug. There's no background. So these pharmaceuticals are they calculate how many people literally they can kill and maim and still make a profit. One recently estimated they had a profit of $10 billion, and according to my lawyer friend, they only had to pay out $2 billion in damages. So they had made $8 billion. Now, what's funny is when I talk to Rich, the doctor, or not the doctor, Rich, the doctor down not one more time, Rich, the lawyer down in Tampa St. Pete, who, as I said, he deposes these firms and litigates them in court. It used to be, I met him back in 2010, and I got to talk to him. After the fact, he would tell me what pharmaceutical drug caused the problem, what damage they did, and what recovery he got. I've talked to him over the years. Now it's to the point I could literally pick up my phone, dial 813-46. Oh, I won't. That's enough of that. I can dial his number in real time, and I can say, "Hey, Rich, tell me about what you're litigating now." I will simply ask him, "What's their MO to avoid recovery from the person they've damaged?" For that information, I can tell what drug company it was. Then I ask him what damage was done to the patient, to the client. Then I can tell what drug. In real time, without him even telling me, I know, because this cycle just keeps going on and on and on, and there's no attempt to stop it. The FDA is bought off. It's very sad, but these pharmaceutical companies get in, they get their people inside the FDA, and they control it all. So if you think you want to go take a pill, as they say, make sure it's at least 10 years old, and hopefully you'll really strongly consider, before you even get to this point, of coming to Dr. Bob, Dr. Anthony, Dr. Kaysen, and really consider being a part of this type of care. Because if you take care of like Fram here, you can pay me now or pay me later. If you pay a little now, you may save yourself from literally being dead later. But if you just want to continue and just doing what you're doing, not eating organically, not eating correctly, not doing things to help maintain your body, you're going to really potentially be you'll be a slave to the drugs and to the doctors, and they're not drugless doctors. And another thing I just talk about, something the statin drugs are the big, for me, a real big offender. They try to get you on these drugs, these statin drugs, telling you the statin drugs will lower your cholesterol. Okay, now, most people really don't need their cholesterol lowered below 200, because the reality is there's no evidence, there's nothing out there in the medical journals that